Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my weekly review for this week's episode of Fear the Walking Dead Season 5. This is for episode 11 now. It's called You're Still Here. Alright, so continuing along with the weekly reviews for Fear the Walking Dead, we have episodes 12 through 16 still left for the season, so that's 12, 13, 14, 15, so another 5 episodes for the rest of Fear the Walking Dead Season 5, and then this season is over. So, this episode features two different groups of our Fear survivors. We have in one section Alicia and Strand meeting Wes, who is a new, oncoming survivor in Fear the Walking Dead, who looks like he might be kind of a prominent character in the future. So another introduction for a new character for Fear, adding on another, seemingly important survivor for later on, maybe. And then on the other side of things, we have Morgan and Althea, and we don't get to see Dwight or June or John or a lot of the other survivors in Fear in this episode. So this is episode 11 for the season, and like I said, for episode 10, and right around this time, a lot of times each year, whether it be for the original Walking Dead or for Fear, we get some kind of, slower episodes because it's kind of right in the middle, but past the mid-season finale and mid-season premiere, so kind of getting, continuing along with the second half for Fear the Walking Dead Season 5. So there's some good things in this episode, and there's some things that, I really didn't like. I think the biggest thing people are not going to like is that there was a fan theory that maybe the person who had been writing or painting on the trees could have been Madison. In this episode here, we get to find out that that's definitely not the case, and everything is continuing to point towards Madison being dead. So I think it was just something where we saw the trailer for the second half of the season for Fear. A lot of people saw the messages that were on the trees or the message, and it made them think that it's something along the lines of what Madison might say, or reminds, for example, Alicia of Madison and something she would say. And as a result, in this episode, she wants to find who is painting on the trees. Just in the off chance that maybe, I'm not sure, 1 in a million chance that it could be Madison or something like this, or somebody who's similar in some ways to Madison. So we go through the episode, and like I said, spoiler warning, it's revealed that no, it's actually Wes who's been doing that. It's Wes who's been going around. He's been painting on the trees, and if you're reading this, it means you're still here. Now, things get really weird with this Wes character. I don't exactly know how I feel about this episode. It's a very, very strange episode. It's sort of like a... now, it is directed by someone, K.C. Colwell, who I don't think has directed any episodes of The Walking Dead as of yet, or Fear the Walking Dead, I think is new. And, it's very, I don't want to say all over the place, but it's very, difficult to kind of say what sort of the direction of the episode was, or what the genre was, or what they were trying to do in this one. This one has elements of something that would be an 80s, a villain with Logan again, continuing along with that. And some people said that Trev, the actor who plays Logan, was in... was it Dawn of the Dead, they said? I'll have to back check that and look into that. But that sounds kind of cool in theory, but he's just this ridiculous, Fear villains are so strange. Every week I, rant on Fear villains. So I won't continue to do that week after week after week in my reviews. But again, in this episode, we see Morgan and Althea run into Logan, and he's got the truck which is blocking their way, and they can't get to... Okay, so here's the logic of the episode. They can't get to a survivor that they want to help who just recently shot at them, caused, this whole big ruckus where, they fire off some riot stuff, they accidentally tear gas themselves, they almost get eaten by zombies a few times throughout the episode, they run into this new character, Wes, and you got all this different stuff happening, and, Morgan and Althea are trying to get there because they got to save this guy who just tried to kill all the others. So, you have this weird situation where I almost feel like it's like trying to help people, but taken to the extreme, taken too far. It's okay, we understand it's a noble thing to help people. You're the good guys of the Walking Dead universe, and that's great. That's not something Rick and the group in the original Walking Dead ever really tried to do, was help people. So it's noble to see that Morgan and the perfect circle, the completed circle, idea with the Peace Morgan wants to go around and help people. And we do see a little bit of Clear Morgan come out in this episode, which I liked. I thought that was really good. But again, with Logan and the villains, it's so silly, especially the ending scene where they pull down the thing, and you got like this like, I don't know, you see like his feet and his boots and stuff like this, and it's just like this, and there's like the chains that pulled the wall down to get the tapes, to get Althea's tapes that are in there because they could have information on where the oil fields are. I just don't know. And then on the other side of things, so that's the one side with them. On the other side of things, you have this Wes character who, okay, so let's go through this here. All right. So and I forgot to mention Logan's like tick 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 as they're like, oh no, we got to go save this guy who just tried to kill us. It's like okay, you do. I mean, you can't just let it go. He tried to, him and Wes were shooting each other, trying to kill each other, but you got to help everybody. You got to save. It's like I guess that's not out of character for Morgan. Sometimes Morgan does go too far one way or too far the other. Sometimes when he's in clear mode, he'll go too far, trying to kill everybody, even trying to kill Rick. And then sometimes where he's on the other side, he's too peaceful and he's trying to help everybody that he should, right? So I guess I shouldn't say it's out of character. It's just so weird to see like this thing. I don't know. It's just so strange from that side of things. And then the other side, it's equally as strange with Wes because you have him come in, and so he doesn't reveal right away that he's the one who's been painting on the trees, that kind of thing. It comes from his manuscript. Okay, so let's trace this all the way through so we understand what we're looking at here. So they run into Wes, okay, and or he calls them on the radio. So they go and they try to help him because Logan had destroyed his bike that I guess belonged to his brother. His brother's dead, and so then you have Alicia, of course, who relates to him because her brother Nick was killed too, obviously, which is good. There's some good callbacks in this one. There's a good callback to that, to Nick, which is cool because they don't mention him that often nowadays. So it's good to get that mention. And then there's also a mention back to Jenny and Dwayne from Morgan. So that's good too. So for both sides, I'm happy with both those. I like those both mentions to bring it back to important characters throughout the series from earlier on. But so then we have. So Wes, so he gets his bike shut down, he relates to Alicia, whatever, you can see that maybe they're setting up some kind of future possible relationship between the two. I don't know, we'll have to see if Wes kind of joins the group or kind of, because he's right in the middle right now. He's sort of like, he's lying about things, so he's kind of a villain type character. Sometimes he's going to try to kill this guy because so They meet him, and then he says, okay, we got to go save my brother, or go see my brother, whatever. Not save my brother. We got to go see my brother, this thing. And here's where he's at this, is it a library, something like this, building. So they go here. And then he runs in and you hear shots going off. It's just like, it's like, what's going on? So then you get this other guy who's running out, and they're shooting at each other, and we had the impression that the guy who was shooting at Wes, or Wes and him were shooting at each other, was shot, and he was injured. So Morgan and the others wanted to go and help him. I guess this is what was happening. But then Wes wants to hunt the guy. He's not looking for his brother. His brother's dead. He's actually hunting the guy down because the guy stole from him. So what did he steal from him? Did he steal his food and Wes was starving or something? Or did he, do something really terrible? No, he stole his manuscript. Okay, so he stole his manuscript. So Wes is hunting this guy down to the death. At a part, starting to care because Morgan and the others are like, emotions and caring about people and, being a good person and stuff, which is, it's noble, it's fine, there's nothing wrong with that. You're right, there's got to be empathy for other people, otherwise you're just a monster, right? There's no question there. But so he goes after him, and then there's kind of the scene where the guy's walking down, and then Wes goes up to him thinking he's a walker, that he's going to put him down to get his stuff back, and the guy turns out to be alive, attacks him, and starts blatant choking him right out, and then the others are maybe too far back, and Strand can't see because he's all tear gas-eyed, and Alicia's kind of, right now, she's in her PTSD state, which luckily by the end of the episode, she comes out of, and it's kind of therapeutic for her to be able to paint in the trees, and I did like the gone, no one's gone until they're gone, which is cool. Again, a nice callback to Madison, so that's all good stuff. And then so Wes and this unknown guy who they're somehow trying to save but is shooting at them, and they're fighting to the death. Wes ends up killing him, stabbing him and killing him until the guy dies. And then when he does get it, okay, let's get this straight. So he's going on all this wild goose chase trying to get this manuscript. So he does get it back after he kills the guy. And then he says, you know what? I don't want it. He leaves it with him and says, well, he died for it, he can have it. Because I don't know, maybe he doesn't want it anymore, or it's tainted, or now he doesn't want it because he had to kill this guy in order to get it. And now he feels bad for it and everything. I don't know. I guess, okay, so that's what we're seeing so that's basically the story here. So he leaves it there, and then Alicia goes out and wants to check it. She's like, well, what is so important about this damn manuscript? And doesn't the other guy even say, like, at a part here, like, it was good too, or something like this, like it was, he liked it or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, so she gets it, and she reads it, and then she finds out at the end, it's kind of a twist reveal, I suppose, that he has been the one who's painting on the trees. And then she proceeds to paint the trees afterwards in kind of her own style, in her own kind of way, and kills the walker, and she starts to get better. So what are the good things? What are the bad things of this? Okay, so the bad things are it's not Madison, and it's a callback to Madison, I think, definitely with the no one's gone till they're gone. For Alicia afterwards and being therapeutic for her. So that's all good. I like all that, but it sucks that Madison is not actually still alive, right? Because a lot of people wanted to see that, and it looks like that's probably not going to be the case. And since the tree has been, painted over with kind of Easter eggs for her, but by Alicia, it gives us the understanding that, okay, she's not alive and she's likely not returning near the end of the season, and that's not where they're going with Fear right now. So that kind of sucks for anybody who was kind of thinking that might be the case. And there were a lot of people who wanted to see that. So that's unfortunate. I can understand for a lot of people if they hate the episode right there, because that, ruined their idea that maybe Madison could be coming back. So that's the bad side thing, Madison not returning. Good side things is we got a call back to her with the trees, and that was kind of cool for Alicia to paint. And then, of course, as well, too, she's kind of coming back to normal out of her PTSD state, which is shown pretty well in this one, especially at the beginning when there's just some aimless walkers that kind of come up to her, and they're kind of going after her, and she's kind of calling for Strand because she's kind of scared and stuff. And so it's a little bit scary at the beginning, or well, sort of. We don't get the impression that they're going to kill her, but you guys get what I'm saying. So like any of them are actually going to be able to do it, right? So, but it's good to see her kind of come back to things by the end of the episode. So we get the tree intro, which is kind of fun. We see the trees, and again, Wes comes in the whole thing, and by the radio and all that, and so we find out, from him throughout the episode what he's kind of all about. So his brother's waiting, all that good stuff, and that's that part. I think that's basically everything I want to say. So there's some okay action scenes, but the tear gas was a little bit exciting there for a bit because they were kind of in danger. You see kind of a weaker sort of Strand in this one as a result of that, and kind of a weaker Alicia because she's not comfortable with killing them right now because of her PTSD from the first half season, which makes sense, because she almost died or whatever. But we do get the sense by the end of the episode that she's probably okay. So that's another good thing. That's another positive. And if anything else, it's probably mostly psychological right now. So psychological damage, but it's starting to kind of heal and rehab back to normal. So that's good. Were the walkers eating a cow at some point here? I thought they were. A whole bunch of them. If that's what that was, it was kind of steer or something. It was kind of cool. Okay. All right. It is Texas and everything, so it makes sense, right? So we need to go find that guy. Okay, so they're stuck there, and so he kind of goes around, he shoots, and then they kind of, you have somewhat of an action sequence here. Why they couldn't all go around, I'm not sure. Maybe there's too many or something like this. And then the parts, like I said, with Althea and Morgan being okay. But again, Logan just being very strange. And that's kind of the way that Fear, post the start to Season 4, does things. The original Walking Dead villains would be more like Wes. If they saw you and you attack them, whatever, they just kill you right away, right? Or if they had the opportunity, they just run in and start shooting at you. So I feel like almost like Wes is sort of a character. He almost feels to me like a villain character from the original Walking Dead series, but he's in Fear the Walking Dead, which has definitely its own vibe, and definitely its group has their own psychology with wanting to help people in this whole bit, and him just seeing it as kind of ridiculous, because it's almost like he comes from that other world, where, for example, in the original Walking Dead series, you have villains that will maybe, come in and bash your head in with a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire, or maybe they'll, I don't know, eat you if it's Terminus, or maybe they'll do whatever crazy stuff, kill you or whatever. This kind of deal. Whereas Fear the Walking Dead villains like Logan are just quite different, is what I'm saying. He's like, there's a scene where he's talking to Morgan and talking to Althea, and I'm almost like waiting for him to just tell all of his goons to just, seize him or shoot Althea in the leg or shoot Morgan in the leg or something and just capture them and then beat it out of them where the oil fields are. But no, that's something that you'd probably see in the original Walking Dead series. In Fear the Walking Dead, he wants to talk to them and kind of, I don't know, talk trash to them, so Morgan gets upset and almost kills them or whatever, but then the others, point all their guns at Morgan, so he stops. It's just this weird, the villains of Fear now are very strange. I mean, it's not just that they're not as black and white like the original Walking Dead series villains were, but they're just they're just different to me. They're just odd to me. It's like you have this conversation. It's like, but wait, this is Walking Dead. So wouldn't Logan just capture Morgan and Althea right here and now and beat it out of them to find out where the oil fields are, or threaten to kill Althea if Morgan doesn't? Let's say you capture them all, you point guns at them, you shoot one or the other, and then you put a gun at Althea's head and tell Morgan, tell me where the oil fields are, I'm going to kill her right now. That kind of thing. That's something you would expect to see from a Negan or a Gareth, Terminus. Maybe Shane would do something like that. The original Walking Dead series villains. But no, in this one, Logan just gives him kind of a stern talking to, and then, I don't know. It's really weird to me. It's like, I don't understand I don't get this. Like, what the hell? And then, again, like I said, the helping people, the logic of the episode for me doesn't quite make sense for me, because it's like, okay, I understand you want to help people, but this guy was trying to kill you. Strand is hurt now. He's got tear gas in his eyes, and they're kind of stranded inside this building. And so, kind of trapped in here because of this guy and Wes, attacking each other. And yet we're still going to try to help them both in this kind of whole thing. And I understand it's not easy to help people, and people are going to give you pushback when you try to help them at the beginning. But, you got to see it, too, that there's some people, when they start shooting at you, it's like, okay, probably that's not a good person for you to try to help. And it's also not somebody who, you'd expect for Logan to give them a stern talking to try to get the information out of them, by way of of threatening that, okay, well, he's going to die if you don't get there, and I'm going to block your route so you can't get through in time. So, I just don't know. Okay, so as far as the episode goes, did I like the episode? I mean, yes and no, right? In some ways, okay, like I mentioned, some of the good about it, but in other ways, no, because it just didn't. It had a really weird feel to me in that, again, some of the characters feel like they're from, like Wes might be from an original Walking Dead character, original Walking Dead villain type character, and same with the other guy that he's fighting with. That's the type of thing we're used to seeing the original Walking Dead. And then Logan and the others kind of feel like they're from Fear the Walking Dead, or, and I understand not every villain would just come out running and try to kill each other right away. I understand that too. But I guess the difference is the understanding that the Fear team has of how people would behave in the zombie apocalypse at this point is quite a bit different from, I think, the original Walking Dead series and how they sort of view situations. And I'm just trying to get used to it, because it's more, and I'm not going to say the name of this other series that was recently canceled that may have Nation in it, but it's kind of like it's more. It feels like it's more towards that. It feels like it's more towards kind of like. You meet a lot of these different characters and all their villains as well too. That they've come up with since season 4 started, like the Vultures and whatnot. Just very, very odd, situations that you see them in. Them talking when it's like, I don't know if it naturally makes sense for them to have a conversation right now. I almost think that Logan would just capture them right away, but maybe he's not that kind of guy. He's not that much of a villain. He's just kind of this kind of goofy guy that wants to get to the oil fields, and so. Then he steals Althea's tapes. Oh no, Althea is she's going to lose her mind. Her tapes are gone. Yes, it's hard for me to say this is Walking Dead. So in terms of score for the episode, I'm going to give it a 6.7. It doesn't quite, it's Fear the Walking Dead, but it doesn't quite feel like the old Fear the Walking Dead. It's not Walking Dead. It's kind of some kind of, I'm not sure exactly where to put this. Okay, so let me know what you guys think about the episode. Leave your comments below. That's my review for it. It's still kind of confused about the episode, because I'm just sitting here going to myself like, does this make sense? Manuscript, like, he can keep it now. You went up to, okay, so now he can keep it. Okay. All right, I guess so. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. If you liked it, please thumb it up below. Check back soon for my predictions for what I think is going to happen in next week's episode, Near to Mead, and leave any comments below for Q&As this week. We'll probably do at least one Fear, Q&A tomorrow or something. So leave your questions below on what you guys think. That's it for this one. See you guys again soon for another video. As always, this is Trev, and I'm saying peace later, guys. See you soon.